G'day, Steve Morgan here, Fishing Monthly Magazine's bit of a scoop for you today. We've teamed up with the guys from Stessl, got Mark Johnson here from Stessl, with some new Platrix 2-hull. Mark, you've made them bigger.
Innovation is our catch cry, Steve. That's what we try to maintain. And yes, we've got our biggest model to date.
I notice in the range now you've got the 6.6 and the 7.3 metre versions of the boat. The one behind us here is probably one that if you'd spend a lot of time on YouTube and social media, you would have seen the Mad Hueys around. What number boat is this for them?
This is number 7, Animal 7.
Animal 7, it's the 7.3 metre, it's got a walk-around cabin on the inside. It's called the Magnum.
It's the CoastRunner Magnum.
The CoastRunner Magnum, and 7.3 metres long with Yamaha's 300 4.2 litre DES, which is the digital electric steering version on it. Please tell me they've got Hellmaster in it.
They've got every bell and whistle on this boat, Steve. It's absolutely beautifully set up.
I noticed there's a 16-inch Garmin sitting flush mounted in the helm there, so big ticks for that one. But let's get back to the Platrix 2-hull. We've done videos before. It's called like a plate matrix underneath the hull, which makes them bulletproof. Yeah. Explain the theory of that to the people.
The hull has got a series of plates, a matrix of plates that are full height from the floor down to the hull, 4 mil throughout. So it is a very solid, rigid structure. And the new Platrix 2 hull, we increased the beam at the water level, and it's enabled us to go to the new hardtop models like this. Yeah,
it carries that weight a little bit forward and a little bit up, which tends to make a boat less stable in the water, but the Platrix can do it. And that 2.5 metre beam is important because if it's any wider than 2.5, of course, you're going to need the oversized signs. You can't tow it during some hours. It's just way too complicated. So I put the tape on it, 2.5 metre exactly.
It is. We make a point of measuring exactly. We don't want to hold you up from going fishing. So yes, you can travel at any time with it.
Now, the Mad Hueys, known for, they don't have the bare bones package, and at the end we'll tell you what these packages are worth, both a basic model and something that the Hueys have put together. It does have all the bells and whistles. It's not often we get to test a boat in fishing trim, you know, with the rods, the electric motor on the front. How many of these big boats now are you putting electrics on the front? They seem very popular with the offshore crews.
90% of boats nowadays would have electric motors on the front. They're replacing anchor winches when you're fishing offshore, spot lock and the likes. And the same with this one, with all the bells and whistles. The autopilot has got that same feature. So
yeah, and a little bit about the Hellmaster later on. It's a great system that integrates your the autopilot, joystick piloting. It's got that digital steering, all fly-by-wire. Now let's look underneath the boat cut. This comes on, I notice it's a twin-axle Redco galvanised steel trailer with the electric over hydraulic brakes. In 7.3 metres sounds intimidating to tow. What can you tow it with?
Your normal four-wheel drive dual cab ute, a station wagon. It's not a small sedan car to tow with, but it towed really well. It tows really well.
So it comes in what, low 2.25, 2.5 tonnes, something like that on
around
a trailer?
that 2.5 tonne. Yes.
So by the time you put all your crap in it, you still end up around that 3 tonne mark, and you don't have to go and buy yourself a Ford 250 or something to yank it around.
Not at all. No.
Yep. I know you had this on the water yesterday playing around with it, but at Fishing Monthly we like to go out and do our own performance statistics. We're going to come back to you with them after we show you what happens out there. Well, there you go. The 730 CoastRunner was doing exactly what it was designed to do then, and we went for a run down the coast in front of the Gold Coast. Cracking day out of the water. Probably can't bring you the rough water handling ability of this boat, although that 7.3 metre Platrix hull felt very solid in the water. It's always really cool to go for a ride in a boat that's got all of the bells and whistles on it, and this one definitely has all of the bells and whistles. It's got the Hellmaster system with that DES 4.2 litre 300 horsepower 4-stroke Yamaha on the back, and from there forward it's all just a joy to play with. It's a self-draining deck, so if you do cop any water over, it drains straight out of the back. From the back forward, it's got live bait tank in it. It's got the full sea deck covering, big keel tank under the back deck. The gunnels are nice and high, and those gunnels retain their height as you move forward along the boat. A lot of walk-arounds, you tend to lose gunnel height as you go forward, but this one keeps it, so it's quite a good fishing platform all the way around. The hard top itself, underneath that there's a couple of BLA's suspension seats that they do, and this is only the second time I've been in a boat with those in, and they are an absolute pleasure to sit in as you're sitting at the helm and controlling that Yamaha with the digital controls. They all of course hook right into the Garmin sounders which are on here, and the whole system works together beautifully. I'm a real fan of fishing boats that have a lot of fishing space but also have that shade. Up here on the Gold Coast and in Queensland we need that shade because otherwise we'll die of skin cancer. But it's also good to have those little side windows to get that air flowing around. So no matter whether you're in New South Wales or tropical Queensland, the Mad Hueys have set up a pretty good boat here. I'd never known much about the Mad Hueys apart from the fact that when we're on the Gold Coast, everyone yells at you, do a shoey when the boat goes past. But they obviously know their stuff. They know how to set it up for fishing, and this one's set up quite nicely. Very easy to deploy and to retrieve again on that drive-on trailer. We drove it on this afternoon. Seemed like no worries at the Broadwater Parklands boating facility here. I really like the extra shade that you can pull out the back. On the back of that console there, you've seen just little bits of extra shade and little things like that, and that's where you stand when you're travelling and holding on maybe behind the seat, your third and fourth crew member. Good, small, little additions for me. Whether you like the sea deck is up to you. Some people love the camo colours on this custom sea deck. Some people don't. That'd be something that's subjective and up to you. Let's have a look at the performance. Firstly, I want to talk about the Hellmaster system. Bob was out. Bob James this afternoon never actually had used a joystick control ever. We hit the joystick button there and he was driving it around sort of giggling like a little child. He you know, it's very intuitive to use. You want to go forward, you push it forward. You want to spin the boat around, you spin the joystick, and literally kids could drive that system. Of course, it adds another near $20,000 to the whole package if you want that level 4 Hellmaster in there. But if you're going to spend nearly $200,000 on a boat, and we're going to get to prices in a while, that's what you're going to get. But otherwise, economically, she goes 3,000 to 4,000 RPM was the best cruising speed, and that was up to about 48 kilometres an hour. You got 1.3 kilometres per litre burn. So not the most frugal engine, but hey, it's throwing around a 7.3 metre boat with a 4.2 litre engine. So you can expect that when the hammers go down, 750 metres per litre, and that was in a top speed somewhere up in the 70s. You of course all want to know about the price. This boat here, as tested on the double axle brakes over electric over hydraulic trailer, the big Garmins, the suspension seats, all of the toys up around that $200,000 mark. But for the plate boat itself, for the hard top, a wrap, the bait board on the back and a 250 horsepower motor, you can spend just over $150,000 to get into the big 7300 CoastRunner. For more information, check out the website stessl.com.au or get a quote from your nearest Stessl dealer.